Good morning, students. Welcome back to another class of English literature. Today, we will begin with the explanation of Act 1, Scene 1 of Merchant of Venice. So, we begin with the scene. You already had a briefing about the scene. We begin with Antonio's speech. As you all have learnt in the previous videos, Antonio, the merchant of Venice, is found to be sad and despondent, and his friends Salarino and Salanio, they try and guess out what makes Antonio so sad. Antonio, in sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you, but how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a want with sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself. Understanding of this speech, Antonio says, to be honest, I do not know why I am so sad. I am tired of this sadness. And you say, you too are tired of it. But, to be very honest, I have no idea how I got so depressed. And since I cannot figure out what makes me feel so sad and depressed, therefore I find it very difficult to know my own self. To this, Salarino says, your mind is tossing on the ocean. There, where your argosies. Now, what do you mean by argosies? They are big merchant ships with portly sail, that is, stately sail, like seigneurs and rich boroughs on the flood, or as it were, the pigeons of the sea. Now, who are what do you mean by pigeons? They are the exhibition carts found in carnival. Do overpeer the petty traffickers that courtesy to them, do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings. So what does Salarino mean by this? Salarino, he tells Antonio, this is where we see them figuring out the reason behind his sadness. So Salarino says, you are worried about your ships. Your mind is out there, tossing, thinking about your ships. Your mind is there in the ocean. But your ships are fine because they are like huge parade floats on the sea. They are big, and it seems as if they look down on the smaller ships, on the petty traffickers' small commercial boats. They look down on the smaller commercial boats, which we assume that the small commercial boats are bowing down and crossing Antonio's stately ships. So Salarino says that your ships fly like birds, passing those small little commercial boats. Now let us see what Salanio has to say. Salanio says, believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, peering in maps for ports and piers and roads, and every object that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures out of doubt would make me sad. Now, what does Salanio mean? He tells Antonio, believe me, sir, had I such risky business ventures in other countries, I would be sad too. I would constantly be worrying about my business ventures. I would constantly be picking up blades of grass, throwing in the air to find out the direction of the wind. I would be looking over maps to figure out the best ports, piers, and waterways. And everything that would worry me about my ships would definitely make me feel sad. We continue with Salarino's speech. My wind, cooling my broth, would blow me to an ache when I thought What harm a wind too great at sea might do, I should not see the sandy hourglass. Now, hourglass is an instrument for measuring time. And broth means soup. Egg means fit of shivering. But I should think of shallows and of flat sandbanks, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand. Now, Andrew, it was a common name for a big ship during Shakespeare's time, veiling her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. Now, although the name Andrew is masculine, it is referred to as her in the following lines because it was customary and for ships and it was regarded to be feminine. Now, what does Salerno mean by this? Salerno says, I would get scared every time I blew on my soup to cool it, because it would bring the thought how a strong wind could wipe out or destroy my ships. Every time I looked at the sand in the hourglass, I would definitely imagine my ships being wrecked on the sandbars, on the flat sandbanks. Continuing with Salerno's speech, should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks, which touching but my gentle vessel's side would scatter all her spices on the stream, enrobe the roaring waters with my silks. So Salerno says, I would think whenever I went to the church built of stones, it would remind me of the dangerous rocks beneath the sea. And I would immediately think that if my ship brushed up against the rocks, the cargo of my ship, the spices, would be dumped into the sea. The silk shipments would be flying into the roaring waters. Further, Salerno says, and in a word, but even now worth this, and now worth nothing. Shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing bechanced would make me sad? But tell not me, I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise. So, Salerno, he says that this way, in a moment, I would go bankrupt. And who will not get sad thinking about things like this? It is quite obvious. Antonio is definitely sad, is melancholic, because he is so worried about his cargo, about the safety of his cargo. Now, Antonio says, believe me, no. I thank my fortune for it. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore, my merchandise makes me not sad. So Antonio says, believe me, my friends, my business ventures do not make me feel sad. I am thankful that my financial situation is healthy. I have not invested all my money in one ship or to one part of the world. Even if I do not earn a good profit this year, I am still okay. So it is not my business that makes me feel sad. So Salerno says, why then? You are in love? So Salerno says, if it's not your business which makes you feel sad, then you must be in love and therefore you are sad. Antonio, fie. He says, nonsense. Salerno says, not in love neither. Then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. And 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. Now, by two-headed Janus. Now, Janus is the Roman god of beginnings and transitions, and also the gates and doors. Janus was always placed above doorways with one head looking inwards and the other looking outwards. So here Janus is referred to show that nature has created people with different outlooks. Nature had framed strange fellows in her time. So, Salerno says, you are neither in love? Then fine, let us say you are sad because it is your habit to remain sad. You know, it would be easy for you to laugh and dance around and say that you are in a good mood because you are not sad. Humans are so different. Salerno further says, some that will evermore peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, and other of such vinegar aspect that they will not show their teeth in way of smile, though Nestor swear the jest be laughable. So Salerno says, there are some people who will laugh at everything, even at the drone of a bagpipe. Just like a parrot that mindlessly laughs at anything and everything. And there are other people who have such sour expression, who are so serious that they will not smile even if they hear something hysterically funny, something which the oldest and wisest of the Greek heroes, that is Nestor, would consider to be funny. Now here enters Bassanio, Lorenzo and Greciano. So Salerno says, here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Greciano and Lorenzo. Very well, we leave you now with better company. So Salerno says, here comes your dear friend Bassanio, Greciano and Lorenzo. Goodbye then. We leave you in a better company so that you can talk to them. Salerno further says, I would have stayed till I made you merry if worthier friends had not prevented me. So he says, I would have stayed here furthermore and cheered you up, bring you to a better mood if your noble friends hadn't shown up. Thank you, children. Please go through this part which I have explained to you now. We will continue with the next part of Act 1, Scene 1 in our next video. Have a wonderful day ahead, children.